into it in great details, but at least I'll just, go over it some way. All right. So there are scenarios where you have a husband that seem like he's completely not carrying his weight. Like when I mean not carrying his weight, he's not carrying his weight at all. He's totally not carrying his weight. And yet, in the middle of not carrying his weight, he is now demanding. So he's making demands of a king, but he's bringing in the support of, like the woman practically might feel like she's a widow because the husband is practically bringing in nothing, but he's making demands like he's a king. Now, the big question is, what do you do in that kind of scenario? Okay? Because now, BSO is telling you to look at your husband as a king, but this guy is anything but a king in every way. You've had the hardest life, hardest experience, you are being hit left, right, and center. Okay, so what do you do? All right. If that's you, or if you think that might be you in the near future because of the way things are going, my advice to you would be, if you have that kind of experience, I hope you're hearing me. If you have that kind of experience that I just described or something close to it, what do you do? I said my first advice is get out a notepad, right, and a pen, and write out what your biggest concerns are. Some people, it might be their biggest disappointments. Whatever those negative feelings are, write them out as clearly as possible in a page on your notepad. Write it out. Then, give it a minute or two. Speak in tongues if you know how to speak in tongues. Just speak in tongues generally to stir up your spirit. Then, flip a fresh page and write out all your wins as a family. What have been your wins? Have you had any wins at all? Win as in W-I-N. Then you add S in plural. Have you had any wins as a family? What are your wins? What are your gains? The reason why I want you to have both written out is a lot of times people underestimate their wins and they focus only on those things that they do not have. So much so that what they do not have now seems like it's bigger than what they already have. So you write out all the disappointment on all that's on the first page. Flip over to the next page and start writing out all the things that you call your gains. Do you have a husband that loves you? Do you have a family that rarely gets sick? Do you have a family that, apart from when you are angry and quarreling, that is usually in peace, as in there's usually peace? Do you have a family that is not so demanding? Do you have a family that understands? Whatever positive that you can think of, write it. However small, however big. Once you're done writing all the positive, now I know that some people, because of the pain that they are feeling, the only positive that they might have to write might just be one. So even if all you can write is one positive, no problem. I pray that is not the case. But even if that is the case, write out that one positive that you can think of. Not just about your husband, but about the marriage, about your union, about your family. Write it out. Then, take time and show gratitude first to God for those wins. Why? Because a lot of times when people are in that state of resentment and pain, they lose the ability to thank God. And as long as the devil is able to make you feel that level of pain, enough not to thank God, then you keep on losing. The hole keeps on getting deeper. But if you are able to embrace God the way Paul and Silas did when they were in the dungeon with their hands and their legs chained, then there is hope for you to have victory. So after thanking the Lord for a bit, turn a third page and now start writing where you want to be. What are the things you want to accomplish? How do you want your family to be? Now, a lot of times this happens where the family generally does not even have its vision. They don't have direction. But you see, for you to say, oh, we are not advancing, it means you have expectation. So those expectations that you have, that's making you say your family is not moving forward, write it out. You want your bills paid on time. You want your kids to be in a certain kind of school. You want this, you want that, you want that, you want that. All those want that you want, write it out. When you're done, ask yourself, why do you want this? Because all those wants, they are not your vision. They are means to an end, but they help you create the end. So after you've finished writing all those things that you want, all those things you think your family should have, blah, 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 write it out. This is a session with your own self, a therapy session with yourself. When you're done writing out all the, you want both of you to have your own car, your husband to have his own car, you want us to have a bigger apartment, you want us to, all those want, write it down clearly. Write it like money is not the issue, time is not the issue. Okay, once you're done, ask yourself, all these things you have written, why do I want all these things? Only you can answer that question genuinely. If you lie to yourself, it's fine, it's your life. But if you want to get the best out of it, ask yourself, all these many things I have written, what is my why? Why do I want this? All these things. Why do I want all the things I've just written? So first you wrote down all the traumatic experience, all the pain, all the losses, all the disappointment. Next you are writing now, that's like your ground zero. Next you are writing, all the wins, little wins, big wins that you've had over the years. Of maybe you've been married 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, all the wins. It's like when you're done with counting your blessings, then you now write out, okay, obviously not where I would like us to be as a family. Where and what is that place that you want to be in the family? What kind of family you want to have? What are the things you want to have? What are the things you want to see happen in the family? Write it out clearly. Once you're done writing that, and don't forget that number 2, you have to take out time to be grateful. You show gratitude to God. So number 3, you write out where you want to be. Number 4, ask yourself, from where you are right now, what do you need to do to get the family to that place? Now, why it might sound like I'm not being specific with this last one is because everybody have their peculiar challenge. If I was talking to you one-on-one, then we could draft out, look at where you are right now. Say, okay, this is where you want to be, right? Okay, this is the disparity, this is the gap. So based on this gap, these are the things you need to do. So the same way you can do that exercise with yourself and say, okay, based on where I am right now, based on where I'm going to, this is the difference. So, as a family, we are earning 200,000 right now. But as a family, I want us to earn 800,000. Okay, so the difference is 600,000. I'm using money now so that it's easy to relate with. So the question is now, from where I am right now, what are the things that I can do to help reduce that gap from where we are to where we are going to? Now, a lot of times, what people do not know that one of the first things that you need to do is proper communication. If you can, write it down. Proper communication is one of the first things that you need to do. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Coach. I can hear you.
Okay, so I said one of the first things that you need to do is proper communication. And this proper communication are in different directions. One of the directions is proper communication with yourself, clarity and communication with yourself, proper communication with your spouse, then proper communication with God. I'm not arranging it in the order of importance. All right, so it's not in order of importance. But it's not in order of importance. But these 3 kinds of communication are very important. You need to be able to be true to yourself and talk to yourself and hear yourself think. Clear your mind and hear yourself think and have dialogue with yourself. Oh, this stuff I'm doing now, is it okay? Can I do it better? What should I do? How should I do? Some people call it meditation. Some people, you could call it whatever name, but be able to have very clean, clear conversations with yourself. Ask yourself questions and train yourself not to lie to yourself. Tell yourself as it is. If you overreacted about something, you tell yourself, no, BSO, that reaction was a little too much. You shouldn't have reacted that way. You just should have done it this way. You should have done it this way. You should have done it this way. Be able to talk to and with yourself well enough to be able to become better every single day. Then the second one is be able to talk with your spouse in a way that you do not hit his ego. Because your goal is to be able to communicate to him, not just to sign register that you have spoken. There is a difference between those two approaches. You can approach someone just to so that everyone knows that you spoke. You said something, right? Or you can approach someone and talk to the person because you really want to communicate with the person. No anger, no sentiments, no resentment. You just want to communicate some things, some important truths to the person. So this person happens to be your spouse. So you have to have proper communication with your spouse. I'll give you an instance of proper communication. Okay, let's say you are a wife that likes to go to events on time. And on time for you is 15 minutes to the kickoff time of that event. That is what on time means to you. However, on time for your husband means getting there just right on time before they shut the gates. So you see that already the perspective of on time for these two people, though they are husband and wife, is very different. One wants to get there 15 minutes before time. Why? So that he or she is able to get information, get some things done, reach, know where they need to get, where the restroom is, where the water is, where that one is. Generally you want to get things done, right? But your husband not thinking about that. Your husband wants to get there right on time. And now he's wondering why you are angry. After all, we got there right on time. Now we didn't miss anything. Right? Because of the lack of proper communication. He believes genuinely that you guys did not miss anything. Unknown to him, on time for you, you want to get there so you can get a very good seat for that event. You want to be able to go around and get water and maybe small chops or popcorn or whatever that you need to get. There are things that you wanted to do in that venue before you guys now sit down. Just about any seat that is available. Do you understand? So that's where communication with your spouse, that's just an example of difference in understanding between a man and a wife, right? So if getting there 15 minutes to time is what you consider on time, not the program is for 8, you get there for 8, that is late for you, right? You need to now create avenues where you can have constructive conversations with your spouse. And it normally should go in this light. Honey, or whatever it is you call him, John, for those that call their husbands by their first name, whatever it is, you call him and say, sit down. Let me explain something to you. See this event that we're going tomorrow, right? It's supposed to start by 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. All right? Now, being there early for me is getting there 15 minutes before time, right? Which means, and the drive from here there is about 30 minutes, which means we need to leave here for that 8 o'clock period timing. We need to leave here maybe 7 or maybe a few minutes past 7 so that we're able to get there 15 minutes before time. And the reason why I want to get there 15 minutes because it's not because I'm not busy, I don't have stuff to do, but because I want to be able to do 1, you tell him what 1 is, 2, you tell him what 2 is, 3, you tell him what 3 is. So now he knows the reason why you want to get there on time. And he says, see, I know you like to take your time. I know you like to do that. I know you like to do that. No problem. So what's going to happen is, if by 7 o'clock, right, you are not ready, you are not, I would have done this, I would have done that. Do you understand? Then we can come back together. However, The Uber ride will be taken from you. You'll be the one to pay for the ride for me. That will be your treat for me to help you get the chairs. You say jokingly and happily. You don't have to frown. You don't have to be angry. So you can come much later so that I don't rush you. By the time you get there, I'd have gotten all the things I need to get. Then you join me. And we are both happy. It's a win-win. I get there early like I want to get there. You get there late like you want to get there. We can come back home together. And there is peace. And there is understanding. You are not angry, I'm not angry. So it's not like, oh, I have to now wait for you. Then I'm frowning all the way to the program. And you are trying all the way to make me happy and trying to convince me. No. There's no need for that. Latest, you are not ready, I get an Uber. 7:10 thereabout, the Uber is here. I bought the Uber. I start heading out. And then you can come 20, 30, or maybe 1 hour later. I'll be sure you have your chair waiting for you. You know you are my king. So I have everything ready. So when we're done with the program, we can all go home together. Now, this conversation can last 5 minutes or 10 minutes max. But you have communicated something that is important to you. And you have communicated the why is important to you. Case closed. And if you try those kind of communications with every other area, you don't just bottle up what you have in your mind and assume that he should know why you are angry, or he should know why what he's doing is pissing you off. He should know. The question I would always ask is, did you have that conversation with him? And if you did, what did you say in that conversation? Were you giving him ultimatums, or you were telling him why this stuff feels this way to you? Why your understanding about it is this way or that way? Because truly, if he's your king, there's a way you address him. Did you address him right? So you want to have a treasured marriage, right? You must learn how to communicate with yourself. You must learn how to talk with your spouse. Then you now also have to learn the God part in it. What is God in your marriage? I did not say who is God. We know God is God. But what is he in your marriage? Is God in your marriage? Is God king in your marriage? Is God peace in you? What is God in your marriage? What's the communication you have with God with regard to your marriage? What place does God have in your marriage? Does he have top place? Does he have medium? Does he have no place? When there are issues, there are concerns, at what point do you bring it up to God? Proper communication. You want to have a treasured marriage, you must have proper communication with God.
Oh, Coach, we can't hear you. Are you there? I think he's gonna connect back.
I hope I can still be heard.
Yes.
Not sure why it keeps sounding like it's going out. I don't know the last thing you heard.
It went off for
What's
like
the last thing?
A few, like
Seconds.
some 30 years, like some 30 seconds.
All right, so I said back. All right, so yes, you have to have proper communication, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need to know who you are married to. You need to know who God is in your marriage. You need to know your role in your marriage, and you need to carry it out. Some are in marriages that seem easier than some. But you need to understand that God is a leveler. God is a leveler. God is able to give you the kind of marriage that you want. But you have to be clear about the kind of marriage that you want. You have to be very, very clear about the marriage that you want. Very clear. All right. So you remember, I don't know if you talked about, write out all the mishaps, all the discomfort, all disappointment. Write out all the blessings, counting your blessings. Write out what you think where you think you should be, where you think you guys should be, what you should have, blah blah blah. Then you now say, okay, what's the difference between where I am and where I'm going to? Now, what are the things I can do? And I said one of the first things is proper communication with yourself, with God, and with your spouse. Be very clear. Be clear about their positions in your life. As a wife, you need to be very clear about your husband's position in your life. You need to be very clear about God's position in your life. And both God and your spouse needs to know their position in your life. So it's not just enough for you to know, oh, God is number one in my life. God needs to know by your actions towards him. You can't say, oh, my husband is my king. Your husband needs to know by your actions towards him. All right. For the sake of time, I'm going to just hammer on 3 more things. One of it is preparing for success. The second one is resentment. Then the third one is prayer. All right, so let me start for resentment. Resentment is something that a lot of women have towards their husband. And as a result of resentment, there's no need now. I don't see need for me to start going to the dictionary meaning for resentment. But if you don't know, please look it up in the dictionary. But it's something that a lot of women have against their husbands. And the challenge is the moment you allow resentment into your heart and into your marriage, there's hardly anything your husband can do that will make you happy. No matter what he does, you would hardly be happy. So look up resentment in the dictionary, in the personal assignment. Then ask yourself, are you resentful towards your husband? One of the symptoms of being resentful towards your husband is almost anything that he does irritates you. You find yourself not being sexually attracted to him. You find any mistake he makes, you hammer on the mistakes. When he tries to do something good, you rarely notice what he's doing that is good. However little it might be or big it might be, it wouldn't make so much of a difference. Because in your mind, that thing that made you resentful, those particular things, because he's not done them or fixed them, because he has not fixed them, because he has not apologized, because he's not providing as much money as you want, because you are constantly angry with him. So you need to go to the Spirit of God, ask the Spirit of God for forgiveness, and wash out every reason of this resentment from your heart. That is the first step, because whatever he was doing that made you feel to resent him might still be there. So what do? You have proper communications with him concerning those things, and have proper communications with God to help you and help him. So talking about preparing for success, this is one way to prepare for success, to have a treasured marriage. You have to go to God with regards to these concerns. Communicate with your husband respectfully concerning these concerns, constructively. So I talked about what's it called now, how to prepare for success. You need to know where you're going to. You need to know what you need to do to get there. And you must be willing to do the things that you need to do. If prayer is one of it, you do. If it is learning new skill, that is one of it, you do. If it is whatever you need to do. It might even be just to speak encouraging words to your husband. You let your husband know, like the instance that I gave earlier about the man that is like a deadbeat husband that is not providing. Start propping him up. Honey, you are the head of this family. We are all banking on you. We are banking on you because we believe in you. We know you can do it. Come, let's pray. Let us make declarations. You say encouraging words to him. Start giving him a sense of belonging. Start propping him up with the word to his hearing and in his absence. Father, Lord God, we are praying, we are declaring that John gets a job. We are praying that he gets a lucrative job, a job that gives him work satisfaction, a job that is able to help him take care of us. Father, Lord God, he finds favor with you and he finds favor with men. You're making this declaration because you're already married to him. Anyways, you are declaring concerning his life. You're declaring concerning his business. You're declaring concerning his job. You're constantly declaring. You're speaking forth. You are holding the gap. Because right now, you might find him that he's now gone to the point where he's unable to pray. Like the instance I was giving earlier, the lady said that right now that the husband is not even able to pray anymore. So what happens when one member of this team is down? Should the whole family crash and burn? No. You that is still strong, you that have a support system, stand in the gap. Start to declare. Start to pray. Make out time. And that brings me to that third part when I said pray. I have noticed over time when people pray, a lot of people, when they pray, they do not pray with their hearts. They do not pray with their mind. They do not pray with their soul. They just allow their mouth move. So for those that speak in tongues, they are doing everything. They're just speaking in tongues. You just hear that their tongue is just moving. Their tongue is just moving. But their soul is not on it. But scripture says the fervent, effectual prayer of a righteous man makes power available. It has to be fervent. And it's the fervency that makes it effectual. Your spirit, soul, and body needs to be in it. It's not something you do to pass time. And not just when you're praying for your husband. When you are praying concerning anything, as you pray, you need to open your mind to see the kind of results that you want to see. Start to create the results you want in your mind while you're praying. As you're speaking in tongues, as you're praying in your understanding, whichever one that you know how to do. As you pray, start yielding yourself to the Spirit so that you're creating the mental picture of the direction that you're going to or the destination that you're going to. That is how to pray effectively. So you are praying for your child's health, for instance. You are seeing him whole. You are seeing him healthy. So you are speaking forth by the Spirit of God, creating that reality that you are seeing in your mind's eye. Or if you are praying concerning your husband, or you're praying concerning your family, and you're thinking about the food that is on the fire, you're thinking about, how you're going to go to work tomorrow. You're thinking about, that message that your boss sent you, you've not answered. Or the message that your friend sent you. Your mind is everywhere else but what you're praying about. You are likely not to get an answer to that prayer. Because you are treating the prayer with contempt. And for any of you that is a lawyer, if you are, you know what it means to be in a court and you are being charged for contempt. You are treating that action with laxity. God is not obliged to listening to you. So some people say, I have been praying since. I've been praying for how many months now? How did you pray? Were you praying with your mind everywhere else but what you want to settle? The matter you want to settle. If that's how you have prayed, I plead with you to change that format. When you pray, even if it's for 5 minutes, take your mind off of everything else. Let your mind be fully focused on that which you're praying about, which is for the upliftment of your husband in this particular case. That the wisdom of God would guide him, would lead him, would protect him, would fill him, that he walks with the favor of God, that the favor of God envelopes him. You are praying and groaning. Why? Because he is your head. He is your king. You say a nation suffers when a child is their king. But a nation prospers when the righteous is their king. This nation called your family that you are in, do you want to suffer or do you want to enjoy? If you want to, then you pray for the maturity of your king. You pray for the blessedness of your king. You pray for the advancement of your king. Some would ask me, how many days should I pray? Should I pray for 2 days? Should I pray for 5 days? It is fervent, effective, continuous prayer. Even when you start to see what you want, the hand starts showing, it starts to act right. You do not stop praying. Your war room days does not stop. You continue speaking. You never stop speaking. Sir, but that's plenty work. How important is it to you? This treasurable marriage you're talking about, how important is it to you? Because breathing, taking in air in and out is also work. But last I checked, you were breathing with pride. You were breathing happily. Why did you not say, oh, because breathing is so much work, I want to stop breathing. I saw my lungs will be expanding. This one, no, please, I don't want to breathe anymore. Eating is work, but I don't hear of any of you that have stopped eating. So the same way, this is work. But if you want to have the kind of marriage that you're talking about, this is one of the things to do. You let your knees hit the floor and you wail for your husband. You pray. If you don't know which prayer points for him that you need to pray in tongues of the Spirit. Tell the Holy Spirit, please put the right words in my mouth so that my husband or my spouse would fulfill your perfect will for him. You pray, you groan, you pray. If it's 1 day, if it's 5 days, if it's 10 days, you pray. Take out 5 minutes every day and fervently pray concerning your husband. You pray for new ideas. You pray for new levels. You pray for the wonderful family you want to have. You pray, you declare. And as you pray, when you are done with the prayers, what do? You go now and start educating your children. You start educating the house helps for those that have house help. You start educating your environment, your aeon. You start to speak this knowledge into you, because as you pray like this, your mind will be expanded. Your understanding will be expanded. How to relate with your children will get better. You start getting rhema on how to better communicate with your children. You start getting rhema on how to better communicate with your spouse. You even start getting rhema on how to best communicate with the Father, which is God himself. You start speaking his perfect will into being in your home. In your home, you start speaking it into being. So you totally remove resentment, because resentment is like a clog. It blocks the flow. So you take resentment out. You take unforgiveness out. If telling him you forgive him with your mouth is difficult, make him a very good meal. And like Jacob, present it to him. And I said, what's one you're cooking this kind of food for me? What is happening? Saying, I just want to celebrate you. For the past few days or few months, I've been feeling some way about you that I did not like. And I thought to give an offering, so that resentment goes. Sow a good seed into his life to pluck out that resentment from your heart. It could be a very good meal. It could be taking him out. It could be something. Then in that atmosphere where you are loving, then you now start communicating your heart concerns to him. I am here to support you. I am here to be your wife. I'm here to be your chief of staff. But you are the president. You are the king. We cannot go faster than you are able to manifest. So we are praying, the children and I, we're praying for a great manifestation of the king of this house. You start to prop him up with faith-filled words. Someone said something about, and I'm not going to mention names, that you want your husband to go into transportation business whilst he's waiting for the kind of job that he wants. And you just tell him, do Uber now. No. Honey, or whatever it is you call him. We have bills piling up. Like they say in Nigeria, at all, 9 bad pass. So, instead of having 0, 1 is better than 0. 3 is better than 0. Maybe where we are going to is 100. But see, having 3 is better than 0. It means we are 97 steps closer to where we are going to. So if you're doing the Uber stuff now, it might not be giving you all the money that you want. It definitely will not. But guess what? It would move us away from 0. If I could drive it, I would have done it. But you are the head of the home. Help us. We are dependent on you. So you are communicating the same thing. What are you telling? You're telling him, go and drive the Uber. That's what you're telling him. But you are telling him with a sense of purpose, with you appealing to him. We need to clear out our bills. We need to at least start paying something. School fees is coming. House rent is coming. Normal day-to-day maintenance is coming. If you're able to bring in 3,000, 2,000, 5,000 from your day-to-day drive, even if it's 1,000 you're giving to us from there, it is better than zero naira or $0 or £0, whatever it is. I'm not forcing, I'm not pushing, I'm just telling you that, see your children. Do you want us to suffer? So now you are appealing to his ego. When he now goes out there, he's all business, no play, because he doesn't want that for his family. So when you pray, you have to pray with this kind of clarity. You have to pray with this kind of, don't pray and your mind is going back and forth, playing table tennis or playing, different games in your head. No. Temple run. Don't allow your mind to be doing temple run while you're speaking in tongues, while you're praying for your husband. Make the effort. If you are feeling distracted, maybe you are praying in tongues and you feel distracted, switch to your understanding and start speaking forth your desires concerning your husband in your understanding. Once you have gotten your attention back, you switch back to tongues. For those of you that speak in tongues, then when it feels like you're getting distracted, switch back to your understanding. Speak forth what you want concerning your husband. My husband is this, my spouse is that, my spouse is this, he's the head and not the tail. He's getting the best jobs, he's doing that, he's committed to his work, he's committed to God, he's committed to the family. Then you switch back to tongues, you start speaking in tongues again, then like that. And you do it again and again. You take in the word of God like medicine. You pour it out like a hurricane upon every area of your life. So you want to have a treasurable marriage. This is how it is. So remove all those other things that we add to it, romance, all those other stuff. All those ones are the extras. This is how to create that foundation. You study the word and you do it alongside with your kids. You do it alongside with your spouse. If it's something that you on the husband, she was asleep. She woke up to me, the husband in the sitting room, speaking in tongues. The husband was speaking in tongues for almost 3 to 4 hours, non-stop. And she lived out 50 years. Not see your husband as a king, it will be difficult for you to treat him. Not see your husband as a king, it will be difficult for you to treat him as one. And if you don't treat him as one, it will be difficult. Yeah, right. So the voice keeps breaking. I don't know what's up with network today. I hope we're able to get as much with the network breaking thing. I pray you are able to. All right. If not, then I'm hoping that Pastor B would have a very good recording to put up for you to listen to later. All right. So essentially, I'll just round up in about 2 minutes. Okay. I'll just do like a recap, 2 minutes. So we talked about having marriage as a treasure. Now, in having marriage as a treasure, we talked about the king and the kingdom. You need to see your husband as a king so that you are able to enjoy from his kingdom. And what are those things that you need to do for those of you that are feeling resentment, are unhappy, that thinks their husband needs to do more, can do more, is not doing more, whatever it is? First, you need to write out all the things that you feel that makes you feel resentful, that you are unsatisfied with, on one page or however long the page is. Then you open up a new page where you talk about all the things that you're grateful for that you have. Then you spend a few minutes to show gratitude to God for that. Then beyond that, or the next after that, you now write out the things you think this family should have, be or do or be working towards. You write that down as clearly as you can. Then you now open up a fresh page and say, okay, based on this understanding of where I think my family you still hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can.
All right. So now I don't know if I want to ask you what was the last thing you heard, because I'm praying that it's not so far behind, because I've been talking since.
Not so far behind, coach. Just like in 5 seconds.
All right then. So I'm hoping you heard me up to the point when I said that. Let me quickly do a recap of the things we touched on. Your husband is a king. Your husband is your provider. Your husband is a protector. And provider in this case is not someone that must be the one bringing all the money. Provider in this case means he's one that provides vision. He's one that provides direction. He's the one that helps to ensure that everyone is going in that line of the vision and the direction. All right. He's a protector. He's following after Christ. He's doing what he sees Christ do. Okay. So you on your part, I said, look at what are those regrets or those things that are resentful to you and all that. Write it down. Then those are the things you are thankful for. Write it down. What are the things, places, or times that you think you should be? Write it down. Then you go to God in prayer to get clarity. Know what you need to do. You know, I talked about proper communication. Then I said plan for success. Plan for success, which means you need to know what success is. You need to be clear about what is success for your family and work towards it. Give your quota to the planning or manifestation of your success. Don't just, I want us to go to Dubai for holiday, and you just sit back and you're waiting for the tickets to happen so that you can go to Dubai for holiday. What are you going to do? What are the things you need to do to ensure that that is a dream? I want us to give $1 million as partnership to the work of the Father. Okay, fantastic. What are the things that you need to do? Go about those things that you need to do. Don't allow resentments in your heart. Address everything and anything that causes resentment. I gave you an example about the man and the woman. So, one wants to get there early, the other one wants to get there what would be considered late, and how they are able to walk through it. Always make your husband believe that he is your king. He needs to not just know, but always believe it. Always let him know that he's your king. He's the leader. He's the one you guys are following. So however speed he's moving will determine how fast the rest of the family would move. All right, be clear, create clear pictures of what you both want your future should be like. By creating means you have to talk about it. Let it be clear. Let it be crystal clear to both of you where you are headed, so you are sure you're headed in the right direction. Anything that you are not satisfied with, address it as quickly as possible, as clean as possible, without any bad blood or any form of resentment or anger or regret. And you do it with love and do it with respect. Whatever it is, always work on doing it with love and also always work on doing it with respect. You have to respect your husband. You have to treat him with respect. You have to treat him as royalty. And I trust that if you do that, he also will treat you the same way. All right? A lot of times it's about who we start. He's been treating me badly. When he's ready, he will start. No. You can start because you have more information than he does right now. So you start to teach him. Start to tell him, your concerns. Start to tell him the things you love. Start to let him know that you are involved. You want to be involved in creating that thing that you love, not just passing it over to him to do. You want to be actively involved. All right. So with this, I'm hoping that I've been able to communicate some fundamental truths to help you build a treasurable marriage. For some other class, we could talk about the 5 steps to doing this, the 10 steps to doing this. This is like an introductory class. So I hope you got a few things, if not all, from this communication. Marriage is not about who won. It's not a competition between two people. It's a competition, all right, but not with you and your spouse. It's you and your spouse as teammates against the rest of the world. All right, you always have to remember that your spouse is not a bad guy. Your spouse is just like you trying to figure this thing. There's nobody that went to school of marriage, that is a master in marriage. Someone told me earlier on today that Einstein, one of the men that is recorded to have one of the highest IQ in the world, married 3 times. Even him, with all the IQ he had, he married 3 times. Married first one, divorced. Married second one, divorced. The 3rd time, it is said that he married his cousin. And this is supposed to be one of the smartest men alive. He could not make marriage work. So marriage is not about how smart you are. It has never been. It's about how committed you are willing to be to God, to your spouse, and to your children. How committed are you truly willing to be to this? What are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go? Okay, so I'm hoping that some of the points that have been dropped make sense. I know they do, but I'm hoping it makes sense to you. And I'm really looking forward to having a session, a proper session where we all can talk, where everyone is connected to one platform and we all can ask our questions live, vocally, and get answers. I think I'm really craving towards that kind of a meeting. So you're not waiting to type or anything. You're talking to me, I'm talking to you. You're asking questions and we are answering real time. All right. So at this point, I want to say a very big thank you to you all again. Thank you to our host. Thank you for everything that she's doing and to ensure that our classes hold as at when due, And I pray that with this, you are able to see your husbands as kings, you are able to treat them as kings, and you also reap the benefits of being a queen, a man's queen. I pray for you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Glory to God.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach BSO. Sir, thank you. What a session. It's always a delight to have you facilitate our marriage sessions at the Wise Wife Academy. Quite a lot of things stood out for me. And in your closing remark, one of the things that stood out for me is when you said marriage is not about who won. Marriage is not about how smart you are. I mean, those are profound words. And when you also talked about the man being a provider, part of the things that have always been sold to us that is a provider, that means he brings money. But thank you for the clarity you've brought to it tonight. And where you said that he's also a provider of vision, he's also a provider of direction. Thank you so much, Coach BSO. I always enjoy, enjoy sitting with you and learning quite a lot on marriage. And thank you for your impact on my life, your influence. Thank you for all that you are to me. I'm grateful. And of course, we are still wishing you more happy birthday. I thank God for you.
Thank you. Let me gossip to you guys what I did for my bed before we close. Okay. Now, quickly.
Okay.
Birthdays, people normally, they want to have parties, they want to do this, they want to do that. I was telling you that my birthday this year, I planned that it was going to just be private, just me and my wife. And that's what I did. From when we woke up, I just dropped off my boy at school. The moment I dropped him at school, I was like, yippee! Brother is out of the way. Just my wife. I went to the house. We changed, dressed into something comfortable, and we took a walk from where we were to a place where we made reservation for a breakfast. She did not cook. I did not cook. We don't do any cooking. There are lots of cars to drive, but we chose because we wanted to spend time with each other. We didn't drive. We walked. Like a 15 minutes walk. We walked all the way to the restaurant. Beautiful place. Walked in, got our tables, ordered for our meal. It was presented. We ate our breakfast, finished eating our breakfast. We're talking, we're chatting, we're doing everything where we're not distracted by technology. We're not distracted by, any other. It was just me and my girlfriend.
Come on.
We finished with the eating. They gave us gift for coming. All this kind of fancy restaurant where you come, they'll give you takeaway gift. They gave us gift for coming and all that. We thanked them. We got up and just took a stroll all the way home. Got home, dressed up again in another attire, got into the car, drove to go do spa, finished spa, then drove again to go do some other private appointments. Then like that, just me and my girlfriend all the way till when this young man closed from school. We already called. Instead of us to go pick him, we called for our neighbor to pick him up from school and keep him there.
So nice.
That we're able to do. So we went again to another restaurant. So imagine we ate breakfast, went out to
Lunch.
By the time we were done, it's already lunchtime again. We went out again to a very, very beautiful restaurant, picked up what we wanted to eat for lunch, healthy meals, veggies and all that. We got that together again. Then we went home, sat down, did lunch together. Then we chatted for a bit. Then I now asked for the neighbor to bring back our son. Then Monica, told them bye, because I took half day off of work. And I headed back to the office. Do you get it?
Nice.
Now, the reason for that is I found that a lot of times when we want to celebrate things like that, we want to spend time with everybody else but our spouse. We want to spend money, gather people, do this, do that, which is not bad. But you've spent the whole year with other people. Why not make this particular one special and just spend it with your spouse? Don't get so carried away where the presence of you and your spouse becomes underplayed, where every other thing is more important. You feel it was a good day because you spent it with other people. Why is it not a great day when you spend it with your spouse? If you and your spouse were stuck on an island, only the two of you, would you feel stuck? Or would you be like, oh, well, man, like nobody else will I rather be stuck with on an island? Is that how you will feel? You feel like, man, you mean I'm going to be here with this person for the rest of my life? If that is your feeling, then you're already in trouble. You're already in trouble if that's the feeling you get, like, man, I'm not going to be at home now. The electricity is gone, no light, no this, no that, and I'm at home with my spouse, and you are feeling somewhat, then you are in trouble. You should be able to say, man, thank God, no distractions. So everything is gone. It's just me and you are being fantastic. You guys just start having different kind of fun, creating stuff, building stuff, talking about the things that you missed out on, having raw, clear, beautiful fun. Planning tomorrow, planning next year. You have time to plan, have time to pray, have time to fellowship, have time to spend with each other. That's practically the things that I did all through my birthday.
Wow.
So I thought to share that so that you know that you do not have to spend, you don't have to call people, you don't have to wait there until it's your birthday. You don't have to. You can just pick a day and just me and my girlfriend that day send the children out, because eventually the children are going to leave the nest.
Yes, they will.
Good. And if you have made your spouse a stranger all this while, when they leave the nest, he's not magically going to change to become your friend. He's still going to be a stranger. And your husband is more important than your children. Mothers don't like to hear this. Your husband is more important than your children. In the hierarchy of stuff, if I ask you, your husband and God, who is more important? You will say God. So if I now ask you, your husband and your children, who is more important? Why do you think your children is the answer? Because in the hierarchy of things is God, your husband, and then your children. So don't treat your husband as if he's the last, because the way you treat your husband will determine how your children will treat their own spouses. So if you want your children to build a happy home, let them see you treat your husband with honor. Because the more they see you treat your husband with honor, the more you are guaranteeing that they will have a good home. So if you really want to educate your children right, start the education by you treating your husband right. Because that's the first form of education. That will determine the kind of choice of spouse that they will choose. That will serve as a foundation for what or who they choose. So if you say you love your children so much, if you know you really love your children, treat your husband right. If you know you really love your children, don't let them see you raising your voice at your husband. Let every communication they see you having with your husband be beautiful, be wonderful, be holy, be sweet, be nice. And vice versa. Let them see your husband treat you nicely, carry you up, kiss you, do this one. You say, are we not just pretending? Let us start with the pretending until it becomes real. Practice creates habit. Let's practice it until it becomes a habit. Do you get it? So this is how I did my own birthday, and I hope it inspires you. And it's cheap. It wasn't expensive, and it was not about money. There was plenty of money to do it anyhow I wanted to do it, but I just did not want to do it like every other person wants to do it. I just wanted to have private time. As a matter of fact, I think I still spent plenty money because of the restaurants that we went to. I still spent money. So it was not like, oh, I was dodging to spend money. No. I still spent money. I bought her gifts. She bought me gifts. We spent time. We ate. We did all that. But it was just she, my wife, the Holy Spirit, and me. And it was fun. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to inspire you and not confuse you. And we'll meet again next time. Please have a wonderful evening, a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you so much, Coach BSO. It's always a pleasure to listen to you over and over and over and over again. It's never tiring. Thank you so much. And if you stumbled on this video at a later date, feel do well to like it and share it with other people if it truly blessed you and you think it's worth hearing by others. And one of the things Coach BSO also has stressed for us over time is our environment. And we also have to know that even our environment is bigger than our value system, those that you surround yourself with. And just in case you're watching and you're like, who are these people? Well, we have a number scrolling on the screen and you can pick it up, send us a message. You have questions, you want to join the Wise Wife Academy, please do say hi to us. That way we'll know that you watched, you participated. And of course, if it truly bless you, we're welcome to feedback, questions, and just like we said. And just in case you have not hit that red button that says subscribe, do so. Please subscribe to the channel. Let it the number base grow so that we can reach much more family. We can't. One of the reasons that Coach BSO and I were so passionate about this platform is because we want to expand. Because if more people hear us and listen to us, the world will be a lot more a better place. So share with your friends, share with your colleagues, share with those that are around you. Marriage as a treasure is a beautiful topic that we had today. I mean, I had so many takeaways. And just in case your wise wife you're listening, send us in the chat, in the comment section, in our group. Send us your greatest takeaway and let it inspire other people to participate and also to watch again. Don't keep this information to yourself. Share it. Let other people, be a part of it. Thank you so much, esteemed Coach BSO. Thank you, Auntie Emma. I'll see you there. Thank you for your support always. And until we come your way next week, we'll be taking a class on parenting. And I really don't think you want to miss that. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. And until we meet again, have a lovely